Hey Soup, welcome back. It's Claytano, and today we're going to be talking about how to rune Rakan, the Fire Chimera. Of course, as promised, like I said, every day at 1 o'clock, this is it. You know, guys, just fall into the routine here now. But basically what I'm doing is going over the pros, the cons, the runes, the substat priorities, the alternatives, and his overall rating. And as far as my opinion is concerned, just as like a background about me. I know I do this in every video, but just for anybody new watching, background about me, I am a G3 type player in global for the most part. I'm not trying to be, cocky or anything about that. I'm just saying this is where the advice is coming from. So if you guys want it, here it is. If you don't want it, just send it right on back. Just send it right on back. But other than that, without further ado, let's just get into the pros. No. Let's start off with just an overview of the skills, okay? So we got Rakan, the Fire Chimera. Look, he's a sick-looking monster, right? For the most part. He's got this leader skill, HP of ally monsters with fire attribute by 50%. So only fire, but it works everywhere in the game. His third skill, this is his main ability, right? It's called Collapse. It attacks the enemy by collapsing the land it stands on. It doesn't just deal damage, it just collapses the land that it stands on to deal damage that is proportionate to your max HP. Decreases the target's attack bar by 50% and decreases its attack speed for 2 turns. Okay, so let's just kind of talk about this. For whatever reason, Com2us thought that Rakan needs to have a little bit more of an intro to his skills than most monsters. It can't just say that he's going to deal damage proportionate to your max HP. No, it has to give you that background lore for Rakan. Anyway, aside from that, deals damage proportionate to your max HP. So what does that tell you? Build HP on this monster. Also, max level. I'm sorry, not max level. I'm looking at this. But anyway, it's an HP monster, so it works. Okay, that's not bad. We're off to a pretty good start. An HP monster that has a skill that deals damage based on your max HP. We're looking like it's a bruiser type monster. Then you get to this skill, and you're kind of like, maybe I don't know. Gains increased attack power and immunity against harmful effects for 3 turns. Instantly recovers a turn when used. Okay, so the fact that this is reusable in 5 turns, it gets skill cooldowns when the skill gets leveled up, where you can use it, I think, every 3 turns, so you constantly have immunity on. So when you're 1 click away from having no more immunity, you use this skill again and you have 3 turns of immunity. Then you get to go again. So it's all in 1 turn. You get to re-up your immunity, then go again. So it's actually really useful, and it helps out the cooldown for this skill as well, because you're going actually another turn every time you use this skill. So it's actually not bad. But then you're like, wait, why is there attack power? And it just kind of doesn't make sense. And you're like, okay, well, whatever. And then you go to this skill, and it pins down the enemy and inflicts continuous damage for 1 turn. So I know Rakan a little bit of a kinky bitch. He likes to pin down the enemy. He doesn't just like to, he likes to trample them, and he likes to pin them down. Maybe trample is a different one. But he likes to pin him down. So, Mr. Grey, 50 Shades of Grey type shit right here, But aside from that, okay, let's just go into his pros. Okay. His first pro that he has is he has a self-buffing immunity. Again, it's awesome. Again, just like what I kind of went over, it just completely helps your turns. So it just keeps things rolling, keeps your immunity, keeps everything going. It's good. Also, his third skill deals damage based on max HP, and he's an HP monster. That's about the only pros that I found about Rakan. He, 1 dot on his first skill, it's kind of nice. But anyway, aside from that, as far as his cons are concerned, he's got a lot more cons than he has pros. IMO. He has a low base speed stat right here. It's 95. It's very, very low. That's like almost Zeros low. Aside from that, his leader skill is only for fire monsters. So if you don't use other fire monsters, the leader skill most likely won't be used. And for the most part, any good team is actually going to be built with different element monsters. So there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 monsters out of those that aren't even going to get a leader skill. They'll get nothing. So there's that to think about. Hit third, third con, he increases his attack power. For what reason? For what reason? There's no reason, really. It doesn't deal damage based on attack power. You don't want to build him with attack. Now, there was a buff that was scheduled to actually make Rakan's skill do damage based on attack, but I don't see that in this description. It doesn't deal damage based on your attack and your max HP. It just deals damage based on your attack. But I understand, because this skill is the second skill. It's the same skill that you get for Xerato. Okay, and every monster, for the most part, with the exception of the dragons and maybe some others that I don't know about, that I'm not thinking about right now, but the second skill, there's only 2 different types of second skills for every single monster of that element, or different elements of the same monster. So for Xerato to have it, Rakan must have it. Maybe give this skill to, I don't know, maybe give it to somebody that's gonna deal damage based on attack. Maybe we could give it to Taeor or Lagmaron or Sean. Maybe make Sean a little bit less OP than it already is. Does Sean have it? Shan, whatever his name is. Let me just check real quick. I didn't even look. No, Shan's a squall. God, Shan's so OP. Anyway, this isn't a Shan review. This is Rakan. So anyway, let's go. Oh wait, we have more cons. Okay, so fourth con, he's single target nuke. Again, that's only good for like guild wars and stuff. It's a little bit limiting. Fifth con, he has 0 utility. He's not going to do anything for your team other than put a dot on somebody. Maybe decrease the attack gauge a little bit and slow, but it's like not enough. It's not enough in one monster to give you really anything, especially since he doesn't really do much damage and he's very, very slow. Number 6, the 6th con, last con. He awakens into accuracy. What the fuck? What are you doing awakening into accuracy? What do you need that for? For your third skill? But your third skill, it doesn't even, like, 50%. Maybe decrease the entire attack bar. I think Rakan needs a serious rework, and they're overlooking him. And just a little buff, like saying that he decreases the attack bar by 100%, would be kind of nice. I don't know, just something. He's not my favorite monster, as you guys can tell. So what do we do for runes on a monster like this? Well, for early game, it's maybe rage, maybe a violent, swift. I wouldn't even recommend swift because he's got such low base speed. Other easy to get rune sets, I wouldn't be able to find one for you. I'm sorry. So maybe just go all offset. Maybe go blade. Maybe something like that. But as far as like runing requirements, he's not even easy to rune. For the actual 2, 4, and 6 slot runes, I would say go with HP slot 2. HP slot 6, and then it's a toss-up between crit rate, crit damage, and HP for slot 4 as well. Maybe you just want to use him as like a fire block that's just gonna sit there and just not move. He's just gonna be a tank, and just build him all HP all the way around, energy runes and everything. And then maybe get a lucky crit in there and do some damage that way. But I would say crit rate, put crit rate on him, crit damage depending. Try to get as close to 100% crit rate as possible because he is a single target damage dealer, a single target attacker. He's not a healer, he's not a support monster, he doesn't do fuck all for anybody else inside your team. So he's technically a damage dealer. He's a bruiser, I suppose, but he's supposed to be a damage dealer for the most part. So a single target damage dealer, he needs to have as close to 100% crit rate as possible, because again, if he hits somebody with a limp noodle and he hits him with his purse, I don't know. If you miss crit, that's basically what you're doing, and it's not beneficial. Trust me, you're gonna be like, why do I have this monster? Okay, anyway, moving on. Late game players obviously build it with Violent. With Violent plus his second skill, you're going to be going a lot of turns, you're going to be reducing your cooldown a lot, and you could potentially deal out some decent damage if you keep using your third skill. Aside from that, I would say put him on Will, so that way he always has immunity from start to finish unless he gets stripped. The only other option I would say for the offset 2-set rune would be Revenge. But even then, he's not going to do any damage off his first skill because his first skill is based on attack power and his third skill is based on HP, and you're building an HP because you want to utilize the third skill rather than utilizing the first skill. So you could try going attack, crit damage, HP, but then again, then you lose a lot of HP and then you lose a lot of damage from your third skill. So what the fuck, right? What the fuck? Basically, just go HP, crit damage, HP, violent will. Done. As much crit rate as possible. Substrat priorities: HP, crit rate, speed, crit damage, in that order. HP, crit rate, speed, crit damage, in that order. That's what you're looking for the substats. You need to have a little speed, otherwise you're gonna get just lapped. He's so slow, so you need some speed subs, but you wanna mainly focus HP so that way you can survive a bunch of Lucians, you can, just defend against a lot of attacks, because that's what you are. You're a tank that occasionally does some damage if you're lucky. Team compositions, what monsters does he work well with? I would say he works well with wind monsters, because if you build Rakan super tanky, and that's the only way that I would think that he's viable is if you build him super tanky where people are forced to bring water monsters to kill you. They need that elemental advantage. So if you put it with a wind monster, they're gonna have a tough time against that wind monster. Like maybe let's say Ratesh. That would be a great option. Maybe Chase Soon would be a great option as well. And then put him with a water monster, so that way people don't know exactly what they need to do to kind of take him down. And you need to have a lot of survivability. You're going to be using him like a tank. He's going to be annoying. He's going to be healed. That's really the only way that I would say that he'd be useful. What monster would he be replaced by? A lot of monsters. A lot of monsters. Fire Monkey King was a great option instead of him. Voladule, Fire Panda, Laika. All these different bruisers would be good. Even I would say Theomars. Even though Theomars isn't even like the same element, at least Theomars is probably going to survive more than Rakan, because Rakan's going to be sitting still while he's getting killed, unless you build him right. Like I said, with a lot of HP, that's the only way. And then Theomars can get Lucian like just Gatling gun all of in his face, and then still come back and probably do more damage than Rakan's third skill will do. It makes me mad. I need Rakan to be better, and I need Comtuous to see this. I don't even have a Rakan, but I feel bad for people that have Rakan, because I can't help them if Rakan can't help himself. Does that make sense? Okay, his overall rating, I didn't want to be too mad because he has a certain place in certain guild war where you want to bring it on offense and say nuke one person down and then have a fire tank where it absorbs damage while your other players are doing their thing. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. That's the best I can do. Again, if you get one of these, do not feed it. Don't feed bad monsters. Don't feed bad monsters, because look at Sean. Look at Sean. He was a horrible monster, and then he got reworked twice, and now he's a completely different monster. So you never know what Comtuous might do. Keep him. 2.5 out of 5. Thank you. Congratulations to anybody that has Rakan. For real. It's a Nat 5 monster. If you're first starting out, it could really, really help you. But as always, guys, if this video helped you, please comment below, like, and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing tomorrow comes out for Juno. Juno is a dear and near monster to my heart and my soul, so stay tuned for that. Also, share this video with somebody that has Rakan that's a little bit depressed, because it's not all bad news. There are pros, just the cons outweigh the pros, okay? But anyway, guys, stay soupy. Until tomorrow, I love you guys. Peace later. Bye-bye.